Hello and welcome. આજે ગુજરાત સ્ટેટ એક્ઝામિનેશન પેપર 2 કોમર્સનું નવેમ્બર 2025નું ક્વેશ્ચન પેપર સોલ્વ કરવાના છે અને પેપર 1 જનરલ પેપર 2 મેનેજમેન્ટ અને ઇકોનોમિક્સના પણ ક્વેશ્ચન પેપર્સ અપલોડ કર્યા છે. તો પ્લેલિસ્ટ ચેકઆઉટ કરી શકો છો. લેટ્સ સ્ટાર્ટ વિથ ક્વેશ્ચન નંબર 1. Question 1. Fizzy Hall Hitch developed two different versions of dash. Group equilibrium under monopolistic competition. No. ચેમ્બરલીને ડેવલપ કર્યું છે. King demand curve model under oligopoly is correct answer, which explains price rigidity in oligopoly. Limit pricing theory of oligopoly brain develop કર્યું છે. So option B is correct answer. Question number 2. Suppliers, customers and rival firms are considered part of which environment? External business environment, internal, strategic or practical business environment? Correct answer is external environment. Business environment can be classified into internal and external environment, and external environment can be further classified into micro and macro environment. So suppliers, customers and competitors are the part of micro environment, external micro environment. So option A is correct answer. Next, under Marshallian utility analysis, consumers equilibrium is obtained where MR is equal to price, AR is equal to MR, ratio of MU is equal to price ratio, or income price ratio is equal to ratio of MU. So option C is correct answer. Ratio of MU means MU of X divided by MU of Y is equal to price ratio P of X divided by P of Y. So consumers equilibrium મળે. So option C is correct answer. Option A અને B બંને revenue concept explain કરે છે. So option C is correct answer. Next, identify a natural obstacle to international trade. Export-import duty, transport cost, retaliatory tariff or imposition of quota. Option B is correct answer. Transportation cost is natural obstacle. બાકી બધા તો ગવર્મેન્ટ ઇમ્પોઝ કરે છે. તો ઓપ્શન B is correct answer. Next, India's accounting and auditing standard regulator is dash. ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, professional body છે. PricewaterhouseCoopers, private firm છે. SEBI is a capital market regulator, and National Finance Regulating Authority is correct answer. Option D. Next, if the shape of IC is concave to the origin, concave means આ ટાઈપની અને convex હોય તો આવી રીતે. This is concave. So, if the shape of IC curve is concave to the origin, it represents dash. અગર concave હોય, આવી રીતે હોય, IC curve, તો એ શું represent કરે છે? Increasing MRS, variable MRS, constant MRS, or diminishing MRS. So correct answer is option D. Diminishing marginal rate of substitution is correct answer. Next, match the column. List 1 and list 2 is given. Substitute goods, complementary goods, normal goods and inferior goods. On the contrary, list 2 માં દીધું છે positive income effect, tea and coffee, car and petrol, negative income effect. So substitute goods is tea and coffee. If tea is not available, then we can go for coffee. Complementary goods means car and petrol. अगर पेट्रोल नहीं हो तो कार पर नहीं चाले. तो it is complementary to each other. Normal goods and inferior goods. Inferior goods માં income વધશે તો inferior goods ની demand ઘટશે એટલે negative income effect આવશે અને normal goods માં income વધશે તો goods ની demand પણ વધશે તો positive income effect. તો correct sequence છે B, C, A, D. B, C, A, D. Option A is correct answer. Next, under section 135 of the Companies Act 2013, the eligible companies must spend dash percentage of their average net profit of the firm the last 3 years on CSR activity. Option A is correct answer. It is 2% of net profit. CSR માં કંપનીને 2% of net profit of last 3 years का average સ્પેન્ડ કરવું પડે છે. નેક્સ્ટ, શેર ઓફ અ પ્રોફિટ ફ્રોમ અ ફર્મ means partnership firm by a partner is dash. પાર્ટનરશિપ ફર્મમાં જે પ્રોફિટ હરેક પાર્ટનરને શેર મળે છે એ ફુલ્લી ટેક્સેબલ હોય છે, ફુલ્લી એક્ઝેમ્પ્ટ હોય છે, ફુલ્લી ટેક્સેબલ અંડર ધી હેડ સેલેરી યા exempted up to 2.5 lakh હોય. તો correct answer is option B. Share of profit from a firm by a partner is fully exempt under section 10 subsection 2A. કેમ કે ફર્મ પ્રોફિટ અર્ન કરે છે ત્યારે એ ટેક્સ પે કરી દે છે, તો પાર્ટનર્સે પછી સેપરેટલી ટેક્સ પે કરવાનો નથી પડતો. તો ઓપ્શન બી ઇઝ કરેક્ટ આન્સર. નેક્સ્ટ, A and B go into a shop. A says to the shopkeeper, C, let B have the goods and if he doesn't pay, I will pay. This is a contract of guarantee. Correct answer is option A. ગેરંટીમાં ત્રણ પાર્ટી હોય, શ્યોરિટી, ડેટર અને ક્રેડિટર. Here A is a surety, the guarantor, B is a debtor and C is a creditor. So option A is correct answer. It is the contract of guarantee. Contract of indemnity માં બે પાર્ટીસ હોય. વેજરિંગ કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ બેટિંગમાં કામ આવે અને ક્વોઝાઈ કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ ઇઝ it is enforced by law. So option A is correct answer. Next, vertical and horizontal movement of employee within organization is called dash. Vertical અને horizontal movement of employee within organization is recruitment, selection, performance appraisal કે internal mobility. જો રિક્રુટમેન્ટમાં ઇન્વાઇટ કરે છે કેન્ડિડેટ્સને, તો અટ્રેક્ટ કેન્ડિડેટ્સ. સિલેક્શનમાં choosing the candidates. Performance appraisal is an evaluation process. So correct answer is option D. It is internal mobility. Vertical means vertical movement નો meaning શું હોય કે તો એમ્પ્લોયીને પ્રમોશન દીધું કે તો ડિમોશન દીધું. And horizontal movement means transfer of employee from one department to another department. So option D is correct answer. Next, following are the information for house property income of J. Rajkumar. Municipal value, fair rental value, standard rent, actual rent is given. What is the gross annual value? Gross annual value calculate કરવાનું ફોર્મ્યુલા શું છે? Expected rent or actual rent, whichever is higher. અને expected rent means municipal value or fair value, whichever is higher but restricted to standard rent. તો municipal value અને fair rental value માં higher છે 5 lakh rupees but restricted up to standard value, that is 4,80,000 rupees. So 4,80,000 rupees is expected value and actual rental is 4,20,000 rupees. Whichever is higher ma 4,80,000 rupees is higher. So option D is correct answer. Next, which of the following taxes will be levied on import? Import કરવા પર કઈ જીએસટી લાગશે? આઈજીએસટી, સીજીએસટી, એસજીએસટી કે સીજીએસટી and આઈજીએસટી? So correct answer is option A. Interstate supply કે export import between two countries supply થાય તો આઈજીએસટી લાગે, ઇન્ટિગ્રેટેડ જીએસટી. અને સીજીએસટી, એસજીએસટી લાગે અગર ઇન્ટ્રા સ્ટેટ સપ્લાય છે, વિધિન ધ સ્ટેટ સપ્લાય છે તો સીજીએસટી, એસજીએસટી બંને લાગશે. અને બિટવીન ટુ સ્ટેટ સપ્લાય થશે તો આઈજીએસટી. સેમ વે ઇમ્પોર્ટ થશે તો પણ between two states consider થશે અને IGST apply થશે. Next, in Vroom's theory, motivation is expressed as dash. Valence, expectancy add કરવાનું છે, multiply, minus કે divide કરવાનું છે. Correct answer is option B. Actually, most appropriate answer is option B because Vroom's theory માં motivation is expressed, motivation is equal to valence multiply by expectancy multiply by instrumentality. So option B is most appropriate answer. Next, which one of the following is not an internal factor while deciding the price? કોઈ બી પ્રોડક્ટનો પ્રાઇસ ડિસાઇડ કરવા માટે which of the following is not an internal factor? Return on investment, profit, cash flow કે demand? Correct answer is option D, demand. બાકી બધા internal factor છે which can be decided by the businessman, but demand is not decided by the businessman. It is external factor. Customer decide કરશે. Organization culture is mostly affected by technology, market, employee or top management. It is D option. Top management decide કરશે કે organization નું culture કેવું હશે. Okay, question number 16 માં G-flat option C is correct answer in દીધું છે, but which is actually not correct because organization culture is mostly affected by the top level management. So option B should be the most appropriate answer. Next, in interview-based research, the term response bias refers to bias introduced by the interviewer's expectation. No, it is interviewer's bias. Interviewer failing to record responses accurately. It is recording error. Participants refusing to answer certain questions. It is no response error or no response bias. And participants providing socially desirable answer is most appropriate answer. Participants providing socially desirable answer rather than true. They provide acceptable answer. Acceptable means socially desirable answer. For example, if we ask, do you drink alcohol? તો respondents respond કરે છે કે not daily, occasionally drink કરે છે. તો which is socially acceptable answer or desirable answer. ભલે daily drink કરતો, પણ if he drinks regularly, then also he says I drink occasionally. That is participant providing socially desirable answer rather than true. So it is actually respondent's bias. Option D is correct answer. Next, price elasticity of demand is invariably negative because Marshall has assumed negative price elasticity of demand. One can easily distinguish between positive and negative price elasticity. Mathematical signs are immaterial or law of demand postulates an inverse relationship. Option D is correct answer. Law of demand શું કહે છે? Price increase in price reduces the demand. And if price reduces, then demand increases. So, આ inverse relationship law of demand માં explain કર્યું છે. So, option D is correct answer. Next, in systematic sampling, what determines the selection interval K? K નો formula શું છે? Capital N divided by small n. So, total number of element in the sample, total population size divided by desired sample size, total sample size multiplied by population size, a random number generator. So option B is correct answer. Here, capital N represents population size and small n represents sample size. So option B is correct answer. Next, given below are two statements, statement 1 and 2. In the light of above statements, choose the correct answer from the option given below. Statement 1. High dividend payout may signal strong future growth of investors. High dividend payout means જે પણ કંપની પ્રોફિટ અર્ન કરે છે એમાંથી ડિવિડન્ડનું પ્રપોર્શન શું હોય છે? તો dividend is higher. It means the company is earning more currently. So option statement is not correct because higher dividend payout represents strong current earnings, not future growth. And statement 2, firms that face higher flotation cost prefer internal financing. Flotation cost no meaning so is those expenses which are paid before registration of companies, that is preliminary expenses like underwriter's commission or discount on issue of shares, legal charges, advertising paid on issue of shares. All these are flotation cost. અને આ flotation cost ને finance કરવા માટે preference internal financing હોય છે કે internal financing means retained earnings. So option 2, statement 2 is correct answer because company prefer internal financing rather than going for external financing. That is debt અને equity કરતા retained earning internal financing પર વધારે preference દે છે. That is correct answer. So statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. Statement 1 is false. Statement 2 is true. Option D is correct answer. Next, non-cash expenses are legal, amortization, depreciation, consultancy fee. Select the correct option. Amortization and depreciation. 2 and 3. Option C is correct answer. Non-cash expense means those expenses which are not required to pay cash. તો legal charges અને consultancy fee pay કરવા માટે payment કરવું પડે. પણ amortization નું meaning શું થાય? Change in value of intangible fixed assets. અને depreciation means reduction in value of tangible fixed asset. તો બંને those expenses are non-cash expenses. Cash pay કરવું નથી પડતું. So option C is correct answer. Next, Michael Porter's model of structural analysis of industries in business environment explains consumers' behavior only, producers' behavior only, 3 forces of elasticity, okay, 5 forces of competitive intensity. Option D is correct answer. Michael Porter's 5-force model explains there are 5 forces. That is threat of new entrants, threat of substitutes, bargaining power of suppliers and bargaining power of buyers, and inter-industry rivalry, that is competition. So option D is correct answer. Next, for a positively skewed distribution, that is this one, which of the following is correct? AM equals to median equals to mode, mean greater than less than median, less than mode, mean greater than median, greater than mode, or there is no relationship between AM, median and mode. Option C is correct answer. That is mean is greater than median, greater than mode. So correct answer is option C. Next, match the list 1 and 2. List 1 sections દીધા છે. Section 6 subsection 1 is about resident. C. Section 10 double A is leave salary. D. Section 10 subsection 1 agriculture income exempted છે એના માટે A, અને section 10 subsection 5 is LTC. So option C, D, A, B. Option C is correct answer. Next, match the list 1 and 2. Patent, copyright, compulsory licensing, the design. So reasonable requirement of public, shape configuration or pattern, published and unpublished book, or an useful invention with novelty. So patent is used for useful invention. Copyright is used for published and unpublished books. So D, C. Compulsory licensing is for reasonable requirement of public. A, and design means shape, configuration and pattern. B. D, C, A, B. D, C, A, B. Option B is correct answer. Next, consumers pass company developed products and services or audio, video or written information to others online is called digital marketing, viral marketing, urban marketing or rural marketing. It is viral marketing. Means consumer themselves share messages. Option B is correct answer. Next, when an employee is rated by his superior, peer and subordinates is called dash. All-round appraisal, 360-degree appraisal. Option B is correct answer. 360-degree means rating or feedback given by all superiors, peers, subordinate, top, lower, or horizontal levels, all the 360-degree appraisal. Next, problem of choice in economics is arise because fulfillment of needs is considered desirable. There are infinite number of wants. There are unlimited resources in the economy, or scarce resource have alternative uses. Option D is correct answer. Economics na જે ટ્રેડિશનલ સૌથી જે પહેલાના ડેફિનેશન્સ છે એમાં એક્સપ્લેન કર્યું છે કે ઇકોનોમિક્સ સબ્જેક્ટ જ ઇન્ટ્રોડ્યુસ કેમ થયો કેમ કે દેર આર લિમિટેડ રિસોર્સિસ એન્ડ વી હેવ ટુ ફુલફિલ unlimited wants with that limited resources. So we need to use that resources wisely, and all the resources have alternative use. तो हमें डिसाइड करना पड़ता है कि ये पर्टिकुलर रिसोर्स को कहाँ पे यूटिलाइज करें. तो scarce resources have alternative uses is most appropriate answer. બાકી બધા infinite number of wants આ બધા incomplete definition છે. So option D is most appropriate answer. Next, the value of extreme items do not influence the average of AM, HM, GM के median. Option D is correct answer. Median ने affect नहीं करता. Extremely higher value या extremely lower value median ने affect न करे. Option D is most appropriate answer. Next, rate of depreciation on furniture as per Income Tax Act 1961 is dash for accounting assessment year 25-26, that is 10%. Correct answer is option C. It is 10% under WDV method. Furniture is depreciated at 10% by WDV method, written down value method. Option C is correct answer. Next, CDSL, Central Depository Service Limited, was founded in which year? It is 1999. Option D is correct answer. There are two depositories in India, NSDL and CDSL. NSDL was established in year 1996 and CDSL in the year 1999. NSDL was promoted by NSC and CDSL is promoted by BSc. NSC NSDL CDSL બંનેના હેડક્વાર્ટર્સ મુંબઈમાં છે અને NSDL જે ડિપોઝિટરીઝ છે એ મોસ્ટલી FIIs માટે કામ કરે છે, ફોરેન ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશનલ ઇન્વેસ્ટર્સના રજિસ્ટ્રેશનની થાય, અને CDSLમાં રિટેલ ઇન્વેસ્ટર્સ ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલ્સ આપણા જેવા એના રજિસ્ટ્રેશન કરવા હોય છે. તો અને NSDLના 14 ડિજિટનો આલ્ફા ન્યુમેરિકલ કોડ્સ હોય છે ડીમેટ અકાઉન્ટ. CDSLના 16 ડિજિટ ન્યુમેરિકલ્સ હોય છે પૂરા. ઓકે, so option D is correct answer. It was established in 1999. Next, match the list 1 and 2. List 1, increase in tax, open market operation, moral suasion and deficit financing. List 2, qualitative measure, inflationary fiscal policy, deflationary fiscal policy and quantitative measure. List 1, first point, increase in tax. Tax increase થશે તો demand decrease થશે. So it is deflationary fiscal policy. Option C. Open market operation. It controls money supply. So it is related to monetary policy and it is quantitative measure of monetary policy. Moral suasion means persuasion by RBI. RBI commercial bank ने morally, verbally influence करे, so it is qualitative measure of monetary policy. And deficit financing increases the money supply. So it is inflationary fiscal policy. B. C, D, A, B. Option B is correct answer. Next, dash is a job of estimating total financial worth of the brand. Brand tackling, brand auditing, equity or brand valuation. Brand valuation. Option D is correct answer. Next, a trademark recognition is valid for how many years from the date of registration? It is 10 years. Correct answer is 10 years. Trademark recognition is valid up to 10 years from the date of registration, and it can also be renewed for further period of 10 years indefinitely. Next, coins in India is issued by RBI, Government of India, Prime Minister of India or President of India. The coins are issued by Government of India. RBI सिर्फ मार्केट में रेगुलेट करता है, but it is actually introduced by Government of India and 1 rupee note also. So B option is correct answer. Other currencies are issued by RBI. Next, out of the following values, which one is not possible in probability? P of x equals to 1, summation of x px is 3, P of x equals to 0.5 or P of x equals to negative 0.5. Option D is correct answer because P value lies between 0 to 1. So that is -1 is not correct. Next, arrange in sequence the steps required in hedging foreign currency risk through forward contract. Okay, forward contract security related है. Forward contract is a derivative contract, financial contract that derives its value from underlying asset, and it is customized in nature. Means both the parties can meet in physical location and they can decide according to their requirement. It is not standardized contract like futures contract. તો ફોરવર્ડ કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ ઓવર ધ કાઉન્ટર ટ્રેડ થાય અને હેજિંગ એક રિસ્ક મેનેજમેન્ટ સ્ટ્રેટેજી છે જે બિઝનેસમેન્સ એન્ડ સ્ટોક માર્કેટમાં ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ પર્પઝ માટે પોર્ટફોલિયો સિક્યોર કરવા માટે યુઝ થાય છે. ઓકે, આના માટે અગર તમારે સેપરેટ વિડીયો જોતો હોય તો મને બતાવો કમેન્ટ પર, તો હું સેપરેટ વિડીયો એક્સપ્લેન કરું, કેમ કે હેજિંગ કોન્સેપ્ટ સ્ટોક માર્કેટમાં કામ કરવાવાળાને ખબર હોય છે તો ડિટેલમાં એક્સપ્લેન કરીશ. ઓકે, ડેરિવેટિવ કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ, ફોરવર્ડ ફ્યુચર, ઓપ્શન્સ એન્ડ સ્વોપ્સ, હેજિંગ, આર્બિટ્રેજ, સ્પેક્યુલેશન, આ બધી સ્ટ્રેટેજીસ અને પાર્ટિસિપેન્ટ્સ ઇન ડેરિવેટિવ માર્કેટ બધું એક્સપ્લેન કરીશ ડિટેલમાં. ઠીક છે, તો અરેન્જ ધ સિક્વન્સ ધ સ્ટેપ્સ રિક્વાયર્ડ ઇન હેજિંગ ફોરેન કરન્સી રિસ્ક. એટલે અગર બિઝનેસમેન એક્સપોર્ટ ઇમ્પોર્ટ કરે છે તો કેવી રીતે રિસ્ક મેનેજમેન્ટ કરી શકે અગર કરન્સી રેટ ચેન્જ થાય તો. એન્ટર કોન્ટ્રાક્ટ વિથ બેંક, ડિટરમાઇન એક્સપોઝર અમાઉન્ટ, ફિક્સ ફોરવર્ડ રેટ, એગ્રી ઓન મેચ્યોરિટી ડેટ. The correct sequence is first determine the exposure amount, then fix forward rate, then agree on maturity date, and finally enter contract with the bank. So correct sequence શું હશે? 2 3 4 1. 2 3 4 1. Option A is correct answer. Okay. Concept થોડો ટેકનિકલ છે, સમજમાં નહીં આવે. Next, the income statement of a finance company differs from income statement of non-finance company due to nature of operation, size, customers, revenue source. Select the correct answer. So, income of financial company and non-financial company differs because of nature of operation and revenue sources. Nature of operation એના માટે કેમ કે company deals in financial service, મનીમાં ડીલ કરે છે. લોન, ગ્રાન્ટિંગ લોન્સ એન્ડ એક્સેપ્ટિંગ ડિપોઝિટ્સ, તો આ ફાઇનાન્સ કંપનીનું કામ હોય છે. અને રેવન્યુ સોર્સિસ કેમ કે સેલ્સ, પ્રોફિટ, કમિશન, આ બધી વસ્તુઓ ફાઇનાન્શિયલ બિઝનેસમાં કામ આવે છે. નોન ફાઇનાન્શિયલ કંપનીઝ એટલે રેગ્યુલર જે ગુડ્સ એન્ડ સર્વિસીસ પરચેસ મેન્યુફેક્ચર કરવાનું કામ હોય છે એ કંપની. તો ફાઇનાન્શિયલ સર્વિસીસ પ્રોવાઈડ કરવાવાળી બેંક્સ, ફાઇનાન્શિયલ કોર્પોરેશન્સ હોય છે, financial institutions હોય છે, mutual funds, portfolio management, stock market companies, all these are covered under financial services company, finance companies. So option 1 and 4 is correct answer. D is correct answer, 4 and 1. Trade related intellectual properties and trade related investment measures are measures associated with GATT, WTO, European Union or United Nations CTAD, Conference for Trade and Development. So option B is correct answer. These are the agreements related to WTO, World Trade Organization. Next, which of the following is not an example of agricultural income? income from sale of dried tobacco, income from growing and selling paddy, wheat, flowers, poultry farming, or growing tea leaves. So option C is correct answer. It is not related to agriculture. Okay. Income from sale of dried tobacco is also a part of agriculture activity. Cultivation of tobacco trees. એટલે A is also part of agriculture income. So poultry farming is correct answer. It is not a part of agriculture income. Poultry is different farming. Next, match the list 1 and 2. List 1 institutions, list 2 functions. NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, is a agriculture finance corporation. So C, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority is insurance regulator. A, SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, is investor makes guidelines on investor protection. D, and IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, is providing loan to the industries. B. CADB is correct sequence and option B is correct answer. Advertising originated from it's London, Madrid, Rome, or Frankfurt. Option C is correct answer. It is originated from Rome. Next, what is the punishment for hacking of computers? Imprisonment up to 5 years or fine up to 3 lakh rupees or both? Lifetime imprisonment, imprisonment up to 3 years or fine of 5 lakh rupees? And D, a fine up to 50 lakh rupees. Option C is correct answer. Imprisonment up to 3 years or a fine up to 5 lakh rupees. Next, product life cycle stages in order are introduction, growth, maturity, decline. Correct sequence is introduction, then growth, then maturity, and then decline. Option A is correct sequence. Next, if the INR USD exchange rate changes from 83.5 rupees per dollar to 82 rupees per dollar, what has happened? INR has depreciated, Indian rupee is appreciated, USD has appreciated, or USD has remained constant. Option B is correct answer. Indian rupee appreciate થાય તો પર ડોલર એની વેલ્યુ કમ થઈ જાય. સિમ્પલ ટર્મમાં યુએસડી ની વેલ્યુ, યુએસડી કરન્સી હવે સસ્તામાં મળવા માંડી એટલે ઇન્ડિયન કરન્સી સ્ટ્રોંગ થઈ ગઈ, અપ્રિશિએટ થઈ. તો આ જે છે ને 83.5 રૂપીસ પર ડોલરથી 82 રૂપીસ કરવા એ એકચ્યુઅલી ઇન્ડિયન રૂપી કરન્સી સ્ટ્રોંગ થઈ ગઈ એ રિપ્રેઝેન્ટ કરે છે. દેટ ઇઝ અપ્રિશિએટેડ એટલે એનો અમાઉન્ટ કમ થઈ જાય પર ડોલર. Option B is correct answer. Mutual funds are regulated by Government of India, Ministry of Finance, SEBI or RBI. Mutual funds SEBI regulate કરે છે કેમ કે ટ્રેડિંગ ઇન્વોલ્વ થાય છે અને સ્ટોક માર્કેટ પર આપણે પરચેસ સેલ કરી શકીએ છીએ, રિડીમ અને પરચેસ કરી શકીએ છીએ યુનિટ્સ, એટલે SEBI રેગ્યુલેટ થાય છે. તો ઓપ્શન C is correct answer. If the coefficient of determination is 1, the correlation coefficient will be 0, +1 or -1, 0.1 or 0.99. So coefficient of determination નો ફોર્મ્યુલા છે R સ્ક્વેર. તો અગર -1 નો સ્ક્વેર કરશું તો પણ 1 આવશે અને 1 નો સ્ક્વેર +1 નો સ્ક્વેર કરશું તો પણ 1 આવશે. તો it is B correct answer, +1 or -1. બંનેમાં આપણને આન્સર મળશે 1. Next, in relation to short run cost curve, which of the following statements are correct? તો પહેલા short run cost curve બનાવી લઈએ. આ છે AC, આ AVC, આ FC, average fixed cost, અને this is MC, જે AC ને lowest point પર intersect કરે. તો when AC is falling, MC is less than AC, AC is falling, so MC is less than AC, correct. When AC is rising, MC is greater than AC, જ્યારે AC increase થાય છે ત્યારે MC AC ની ઉપર હોય છે. This is also correct. MC cuts AC when AC itself is rising. No, at the lowest point. So option C is incorrect. AVC will always lie below AC. Correct. AVC AC ની હંમેશા નીચે હોય છે. તો A, B અને D are correct statements. A, B, D, option C is correct answer. Next, period cost means variable cost, primary cost, production cost or fixed cost. It is fixed cost. Option D is correct answer, like rent, salary, etc. Next, match the list 1 and 2. List 1, Apollo, Raymond, Amul and Sony. List 2, dairy product, Amul, dairy product, electronic goods, Sony, Apollo Hospital and Raymond Textile. The correct sequence there. C, D, A, B. C, D, A, B. Option A is correct answer. Next, health and education cess of 4% is payable on dash for the assessment year 25-26. Total income, taxable income, income tax payable or income tax payable plus surcharge. Option D is correct answer. Cess is payable at the rate 4% on income tax payable plus surcharge. Total કરીને પછી 4% cess લાગશે. Next, when consumers share strong need that cannot be satisfied by the existing product is called negative demand, latent demand, declining demand, or irregular demand. Correct answer is option B, latent demand. Negative demand means customers doesn't like taste or doesn't like the product. Declining demand means falling demand. Irregular demand means fluctuating demand. So B option is correct answer. Next, what is the minimum number of designated partners required in LLP? 1, 2, 3 or 4? Option B is correct answer. Minimum 2 partners are required to form LLP. Next, which of one is not a training method? Understudy, workshop, role play or recruitment? Training method. Recruitment નથી કેમ કે selection process છે. Recruitment is a selection process and not training method. Next, contribution margin is also called as operating profit, gross profit, marginal income or marginal cost. Option C is correct answer. Sales minus variable cost કરીએ તો contribution મળે. આ contribution શું છે? Marginal income છે. એમાંથી પછી fixed cost minus કરશું તો આપણને મળશે EBIT કે પછી net profit. So option C is correct answer. Next, which of the following is not an item of FPI? Investment in joint venture, foreign currency convertible bonds, global depository receipts, or foreign institutional investors, FII. Option A is correct answer. It is a part of FDI. Next, given below the 4 sets of observation, which set has minimum variation? Variation means minimum difference. That is maximum minus minimum करना पड़ेगा. So 46, 48, 51, 55, 59. 59 minus 46, 13. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 70 minus 30, 40. 30, 40, 60, 90 and 120. 120 minus 30, 90. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. 52 minus 48, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Option D is correct answer. 4 is the smallest number. So option D is correct answer. Next, regional rural banks were established in the year 1975. Option C is correct answer. Next, in securitization deal, which entity is responsible for issuing security to the investors? Organizer, servicer, SPV or rating agency? Option C is correct answer. Assets are transferred to SPV first and then SPV transferred to the investors. Issues to the investors. Next, an isocont with infinite efficient technique would imply isocont with infinite efficient technique would imply convex to the origin. Correct answer is option A. Next, which of the following, which of these is least likely to be included in incremental cash flow for capital budgeting? Cost saving due to automation, depreciation tax shield, sunk cost, or change in working capital. Option C is correct answer. Sunk cost, irrecoverable cost. Next, the main Whitney U test is non-parametric alternative test to one sample t-test, independent sample t-test, paired sample t-test, or one-way ANOVA. So correct answer is option B, independent sample t-test. Okay, parametric, non-parametric test is a part of hypothesis testing and sampling. So if you want a separate video lecture on it, do let me know. Option B is correct answer. Next, who has developed present value of future earning model of human resource accounting? It is Lev and Skowers. In the year 1971, he has developed the model. Next, which of the following factor motivates the companies to undertake CSR activities? Avoidance of tax, enhancement of brand reputation, possibility of employee salary reduction, or maximization of shareholders' wealth. It is enhancement of brand reputation. CSR is done for enhancing the brand reputation. Option B is correct answer. Next, the need hierarchy theory was propounded by Abraham Maslow. Option C is correct answer. एल्टन मायो ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप नीड्स के ऊपर किया है. मैक फारलैंड इज a management author and Kuntz has given principles of management. Next, deposits under foreign currency non-resident scheme can be accepted for minimum period of 1 year. Option D is correct answer. Next, according to approach, Modigliani and Miller, changing the capital structure without tax increases firm value, has no effect on firm value, reduces weighted average cost of capital, or increases cost of equity. Option B is correct answer. approach क्या बताता है? Dividend has no effect on firm's value or capital structure. Changing the capital structure without tax, no effect on the firm value. Option B is correct answer. Next, when the seller sets the initial price of new product at higher level, we call it as skimming pricing strategy. अगर प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च के टाइम पे प्रोडक्ट की वैल्यू हाई सेट किया और बाद में ग्रेजुअली लो किया तो उसको स्किमिंग प्राइसिंग स्ट्रेटेजी बोलेंगे. On the contrary, if product price is set at low at the time of introduction and then it increases afterwards, so it is called as penetration pricing strategy. इसका opposite. तो option D is correct answer. The present governor of RBI is Raghuram Rajan, Urjit Patel, Sanjay Malhotra, or Shaktikant Das. Option C is correct answer. It is Sanjay Malhotra. Next, people and materials should be in right place at the right time is called unity of command, order, unity of direction, or discipline. It is order. The doctrine of caveat emptor came into force to make the seller responsible, buyer aware. Option B is correct answer. It means let the buyer beware. Next, match the list 1 and 2. List 1 segmentation, list 2 basis. Geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral. Loyalty status, occasion, benefit, user status is behavioral. Social class, lifestyle is psychographic. Age, gender, income is classified in demographic. And nation, region is geographic. DCBA. Option A is correct answer. Cash gift received from non-relative is regarded as income but exempt the amount is dash per annum. It is 50,000 rupees per annum in assessment year 25-26. Next, which of the following would decrease weighted average cost of capital assuming other things are constant? Increasing cost of equity increase થશે તો weighted average cost of capital પણ increase થશે. Increasing debt ratio when cost of debt is less than cost of equity. If cost of debt is less than cost of equity, તો debt issue કરવા પર debt proportion વધારશું તો weighted average cost of capital reduce થશે કેમ કે આપણે debt issue કરીએ છીએ cost equity નથી issue કરતા. Debt સસ્તું છે તો weighted average cost of capital કમ થશે અગર આપણે debt issue કરશું તો. Reduction in tax rate થી પણ weighted average cost of capital increase થશે અને market risk premium increase થશે તો પણ weighted average cost of capital increase થશે. Option B is correct answer. Debt proportion વધારવાથી weighted average cost of capital decrease થશે કેમ કે cost of equity is higher than cost of debt. Okay. Next, the residual in regression model is defined as the predicted value of the dependent variable, coefficient of the independent variable, difference between observed and predictable value of dependent variable is correct answer. Then, debenture is called as dash security. Debenture is called as junior, senior, hybrid or gilt security. It is senior security because debenture holders are paid interest before paying dividend to the preference shareholders, equity shareholders, etc. So it is the senior security. Junior security means क्या जो equity shares or preference shares है वो junior securities होती है. Hybrid means combination of equity and debt, and gilt means government securities. Option B is correct answer. Next, which of the following is not an element of planning? Policy, program, information, procedure. Option C is correct answer. The elements of planning क्या होगा? Objectives, policy, program, procedure, budget, etc. Next, consent means unity of mind on the same thing, unity of mind in same sense, meeting of minds on the same thing in the same sense, and agreeing on the same thing in same sense. The most appropriate answer is option C. It is meeting of minds on the same thing in the same sense. It is consensus ad idem. So option C is correct answer. Next, make the list 1 and 2. List 1, basic balance, overall balance, balance of trade, and accounting balance, balance of payment related. So basic balance means balance of payment on current account plus long-term capital account. C. Overall balance means balance of payment on current account and capital account together. D. Balance of trade means balance arising out of goods and services exported and imported. Actually, it should be goods only, not services. Balance of trade includes only goods, not services. So option A is at least most appropriate. Accounting balance, balance of payment always balances in accounting sense, not in economic sense. That's why it is called balance of payment. Okay, C, D, A, B is correct sequence and option A is correct answer. Next, in current assets, most ideal asset is inventory, bank balance, cash or debtors. Option D is correct answer. Cash is most ideal asset. Next, in monopoly, price is higher and output is smaller than those under perfect competition because monopolists face a downward sloping AR curve. True. A option is correct answer. Downward sloping AR curve की वजह से monopolist price of product increase रखेगा और output कम रखेगा. अगर monopolist को ज़्यादा सेल करना है तो उसे प्राइस कम करना पड़ेगा. Option A is correct answer. Monopolist face perfect elastic AR curve. AR is actually demand curve for the monopolist नो, ये परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन के फीचर्स है सारे। तो ऑप्शन ए इज मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट आंसर। विच सिनारियो जस्टिफाई सेल्स एंड लीज बैक एज फाइनेंसिंग स्ट्रेटेजी? Sale and lease back is asset has low residual value. Company wants to increase its liquidity. Correct. If company wants to increase liquidity, means cash flow, cash ज्यादा रखना है, तो पहले प्रोडक्ट सेल कर देंगे और उसके बाद वही रेंट आउट लेंगे। नेक्स्ट, क्लस्टर सैम्पलिंग इज डैश विद इन एंड डैश बिटवीन द क्लस्टर। Cluster sampling is heterogeneous within and homogeneous between cluster. Option D is correct answer. For example, states. Districts are divided into states like Maharashtra. District is divided into Pune, Mumbai. Gujarat is divided into district. Ahmedabad, Surat. So, option D is most appropriate answer. Civil denotes dash. Its credit Information Bureau, India. Option B is correct answer. POP of marketing mix is product price place promotion. Option B is correct answer. Next, income tax is imposed by state government, central government, both or Constitution of India. Option D is correct answer. The concept of factor abundant was developed by Hector Orlin, David Ricardo, Adam Smith or Paul Samuelson. Factor abundant Hector Orlin is correct answer. Factor endowment theory provide करी थी। Option A is correct answer. David Ricardo, comparative price advantage theory. Uh, Adam Smith, absolute advantage theory. Paul Samuelson, factor price equilibrium theorem. So option A is correct answer. Next, a portfolio has two assets, assets M, assets N, in the proportion of 40%, 60%. Returns are given and standard deviation means risk factor is also given. Correlationship is 1, that is perfect positive correlation. What is portfolio standard deviation? If correlation is perfectly positive, so we need to use simple weighted average method, and standard deviation of portfolio will be equal to W1 into standard deviation of 1 plus W2 into standard deviation of second assets. So 40 into 15% plus 20, 60 into 20%. So 40 into 15, 6 plus 60 into 20, 12. Total 18%. Option A is correct answer. Okay. Next. Which of the following is allowing customers to transfer funds from their account to retail establishment? CBS, DBS, IBS, POS. Option D is correct answer. It is point of sales. CBS means core banking service. DBS is the name of a bank. IBS means internet banking service. So point of sales is correct answer. POS option D. Next, balance in current account is classified as hybrid deposit, term deposit, demand deposit or flexi deposit. Current account માં જો bank balance હોય છે એ demand deposit હોય છે. Whenever the account holder wants, he can withdraw funds. So option D is correct answer. Next, the principal Esprit de Corps was enunciated by Henry Fayol in 14 Principles of Management. Esprit de Corps means team spirit and unity. Next, penetration pricing strategy means high price at introduction. No, it is low price at introduction and high price in later stage. Option B is correct answer. Which of the following is not an essential feature of valid promissory note? It must be signed by the maker. It must be executed by affixing stamp of a specified value. It must be in writing. It must be registered. Fourth is not a feature. So option D is correct answer. Only 4 is not a feature of valid promissory notes. Next, the standard deduction from gross salary is restricted to for assessment year 25-26 provided tax under new regime. It is 75,000 rupees. Option B is correct answer. Earlier it was 50,000 rupees. Now it is 75,000 rupees. Standard deduction. Remember this thing. Next, Mr. Krishna traced a missing person and was awarded a sum of 1 lakh rupees, but there was no agreement. Such sum is treated as casual income and fully taxable. Casual income exempted up to 2,50,000, fully exempt, or casual income and taxable up to 5 lakh. Option A is correct answer. It is casual income and fully taxable. Next, the Government of India passed IT Act 2000 with objective to provide legal sanction to all transactions for e-commerce to facilitate electronic filing of all documents of government, to amend IPC and IEA, to punish cyber crimes, all of the above. All are correct answer. Option 1, 2, 3, 4. Option D is correct answer. Next, which of the following character is not comes under trait theory? Physical constitutional factor, intelligence, self-confidence, dependence. Dependence is not a part of trait theory. Remember, apart from all these three, integrity and initiative are also part of trait theory. Option D is correct answer. It is not a part of trait theory. Next, match the list 1 and 2, NPV, IRR, payback period, profitability index. Time taken to recover initial investment is payback period. Value created per 1 rupee invested is profitability index. Discounted cash flow method using cutoff rate is internal rate of return, and present value of future cash flow minus cost is net present value. DCAB. Option A is correct answer. Next, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development was established in the year 1964. None of the above options are correct, so GSAT has cancelled the question. And last question. Match the list 1 and 2. Finance cost, tangible assets, intangible assets, and non-finance cost. Interest cost is a finance cost. Tangible assets, copyright is intangible assets. Building is tangible assets. And non-finance cost is depreciation, also called as non-cash expense. So, A, C, B, D. Option A is correct answer. So, here we have completed GSET November 2025 question paper. We have also created videos on paper 1, paper 2 management and economics, and NET and SET. If you want, you can refer my playlist and check out my other videos. Happy learning. Bye.